Alright, today I'm going to be doing the rear facing install for the Graco Extend2fit 3-in-1. This is the version that becomes a high back booster. So, before I start, I just want to point out a few things. I have my lower anchors, which do store on the side of the car seat right here when they're not in use, but I'm going to do the lower anchor install first, so I'm just going to leave them out right now. We have our level bubble right here. There's two blue lines, the light blue I believe it is. Let's check. The light blue is shorter, and that's where it needs to be for a newborn, but for an older child it can be anywhere on the dark blue line. It needs to be touching the dark blue line though. So, and also on the bottom we have this lovely blue sticker right here. This is as much overhang as is allowed for rear facing, and there's an orange one on the front for forward facing, and we'll go over that when I get to the forward facing install for that video, which will be separate. And also we have our recline level right here, lever right here. This recline lever allows me to change the recline of the seat. So I would just pull it out and change the recline to make it more or less reclined. Right now it says reclined as it goes. There are numbers on the side here. You want them to be in the blue numbers for rear facing, which is 1, 2, 3, or 4. I cannot use 4 rear facing in my car. I have really flat seats. With more slope seats, you might be able to use 4 to get it on the level line, but in my car, you cannot. So I'm going to start with the lower anchor install, and I'm going to have it as reclined as can be. So, oh, it's not as reclined as can be. It's on level reclined. There we go. So this is as reclined as the seat gets. Now, if you have a newborn, right now it's right in the middle of the blue line, the light blue line. So I know you can't see that, but it's right in this bubble's right smack dab in the middle. So this is really reclined. If you want it more reclined, like you have a super new newborn, you can make it a little bit more and just use like a rolled towel underneath the front here. But it's very little. Like I just put my fingers under there and it moved to being as reclined as possible. So it would be just like a thin dish towel would be what you would need for a flat seat. Obviously for a more slope seat, you would need a thicker towel, like, I don't know, like a really tightly rolled bath towel, or a pool noodle. Graco does allow those things to make the seat more reclined for a newborn. But this seat is hit or miss for fitting newborns anyway. So, and I do talk about that in my review. I'm going to take my lower anchors. I'm going to make sure it's loose. It's not all the way loose, but I know it's loose enough for this because I had it installed with the lower anchors and the foot panel out, so we're going to have some slack. The thick part of the stapler up. My lower anchors are very exposed in this car, which I like. And then I just click them in. And then I'm going to pull, I like to pull the slack out this way to where the tightener is and then tighten. It just makes it easier for me, especially because I'm reaching over the seat right now to tighten it instead of it being on my side. Alright, so I'm going to test it side to side. That moves less than 1 inch. So it is installed front to back, again less than 1 inch. If you wanted it tighter, you can stand behind it and kind of use your hips to push it into the seat while you tighten it. But again, this is moving less than 1 inch for sure, so this is in securely. It does take up more space front to back. Rear facing on newborn reclines is a very compact seat. Rear facing, not on newborn reclines. So something to keep in mind. I'm going to undo my lower anchors and loosen them. And then I'm going to just store them on the side right now. Typically you would move it to the forward facing belt path. That I'm going to show in my forward facing video, so I want to just save that for that. But if you need to know how to move it, you can always look at my forward facing video. I will do it to move it to the forward facing belt path. So I loosen them, and then I've stored them up on, there's little clips like right here underneath. There. So see how it's hanging there now on the back? It's just hanging there out of the way. Now for a more upright recline, like I said, I cannot do recline 4 in this car, so I'm going to put it on 3. And as you can see how much more space there is. Like it wasn't touching the front seat, but it was very close to it. And now there's like several inches of space between the front seat and the seat. But if I put the foot panel out, which the seat has, for extra legroom, it's less compact. See how it's like now touching the front seat? So I'm gonna move that up. See, it moved, so that was bracing. That would not be okay. That's the foot panel all the way out. I typically leave it in the middle position right here for my son, just so he can put his feet on it. You do not need it. I've used this in a very compact, like a Prius, and you just leave the foot panel in and they're fine. They make ways to make themselves comfortable. So I'm just going to show you install the foot panel though. I'm going to do the seatbelt install. I really don't like the foot panel install with the lower anchors. I just feel like it's really difficult to get tight, at least in my vehicle. And as you can see, there is a little bit of overhang, but my line is like way back here on the seat. So, and my overhang ends here. So I have the space for the overhang. More of the foot panel would make it overhang more. It makes it go all the way to the line in my car. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you go past the line, then it cannot overhang, then you have to put the foot panel in. I like that it has two options. So like if you have a mid-size SUV like me, you can use just the foot panel out halfway. If you have like a full-size SUV, you can have a foot panel all the way out, or like a minivan or something. And then if you have like a compact car, it can be all the way in. The foot panel can only be used for rear facing. It is for extra legroom rear facing. It is not allowed for forward facing in this seat. Okay, so I threaded my seatbelt through here, and then I'm going to buckle it, and then I'm going to tighten it. And I want the lap belt is what I want tight, so I'm going to tighten it while the lap belt tightens, and then I'm going to lock it. And this is where my seatbelt locks. Some seatbelts lock with the latch plate. If you don't know how your seatbelt locks, if a vehicle is made after 1996 in the United States, it locks somewhere. Just check your manual. Side to side, front to back, we're good, doesn't move. That is how you do the rear facing install of the Graco Extend2fit 3-in-1. Remember, straps always at or below the shoulder for rear facing and more than 1 inch above the head. Once they get to the 1 inch mark, it is outgrown. And you measure from the top of the headrest to their head. Graco is known for their really big headrests. So, I mean, like this is it all extended. If you're, most kids are not going to outgrow by the 1 inch until they're like much higher up, because of how big the headrest is. That makes the seat very long lasting rear facing. It does rear face to 50 pounds or 49 inches or less than 1 inch above the head. So it is an extended rear facing seat. And we'll talk about the forward facing install in the forward facing video. I'm Sarah, I'm a CPST. I review car seats to make your search easier. Please like and subscribe for more content. Follow me on Instagram at the Car Safe Kids.